Madara Uchiha is a very, very terrifying guy. Like, I'm not even kidding. It really is. Anyways, when we're talking about Madara, we're talking about the guy who pretty much send massive amounts of literally shinobis to their deaths because this guy was literally showing off his own powers. He was literally telling people, the five Hokages, hey, this seems unfair, so how about this? I'm gonna make you face five wooden clones of myself. Against one of you Hokages, roasted the living crap out of the Hokages, and beat them up, even though the Hokage swore to Naruto to, well, defeat him. This guy is pretty much insane. Yeah, you think that Hashirama, right, sure, he's probably very powerful. You might think Hashirama is, like, really powerful, really strong, and all these amazing type of stuff, which he is, but Madara also takes the tail, and sometimes when we see both of them in battle, we mostly give credit to Hashirama simply because he defeated him, but the fact that Madara A survived, B unlocked the Rinnegan, and somehow literally got the 10 tails inside of him is a lot more terrifying than Hashirama himself. I don't even know how in the world this guy came out of literally the dead and survived this guy. The dude literally did a whole bunch of Buddha type technique, made a whole bunch of hands, made himself look unstoppable, and at the end of the day, there was literally nothing that Madara could pretty much well survive in, and somehow he survived. Somehow, some way in his entire life, in Madara Uchiha's life, he survived. And he somehow created one of the craziest anime scenes in the entire anime. How? By getting resurrected from the dead. And not only that, he made an entire arc by himself alone because he was alive. Like, you keep this in mind, the dude wasn't not just a legend, but he was also living in the shadows. Not only that, in order for you to be feared, if you have the Sharingan like Obito, you could practically say that you are Madara. Just don't let people see your face. I need you guys to understand something, okay? The shinobi world is very weak when it comes to the shinobi world. If you're really in it, right, you're only probably going to use a fireball or maybe an earth style or something like that. Nothing too crazy. Even if you're in a Anbu Black Op or something, you're not really going to have a lot of crazy, powerful, stuff. The only times that you will probably be, very powerful is probably if you're like Kakashi level or something like that. But overall, the shinobi, world is pretty weak. Think of it as original people having original powers, right? Oh, you have fireball, you can shoot fireballs, It's not like every single person can, make dimensions and stuff like this. For shinobis, literally, if you have powers, you would probably be, either Genin or something like that. Most shinobis kind of go past over there. But overall, a lot of the shinobis are weak. But then when you have two shinobis, one shinobi that is absolutely god power, and the second shinobi is also an absolute god power, you kind of just cannot stop looking at him and be like, oh my god, this is one of the most craziest things ever. And when it comes with Hashirama and Madara takes the tail when it comes with badass, and somehow, some way, surviving something that is absolutely crazy. I mean, let's talk about Madara for a second. Madara survived Hashirama's attack. Mind you, he was not supposed to. Hashirama could use clones, could use so much other techniques than Madara, to the point where Madara pretty much got humiliated. I can't say the word, I never was be able to. Anyways, but he pretty much got himself, shot down in the ground, and pretty much it was a miracle that he survived. And keep this in mind, the only reason why he survived this one because he unlocked the Rinnegan. If he did not go to next level mode, he would have never, ever survived in the entire Naruto world. The dude somehow, some way survived to 90 or 100, then trapped Obito, and then when Obito, mind you, sure, I gave a lot of credit last video, but keep this in mind, even when Obito got the 10 tails, Madara got it, and he controlled it. Not just controlled it, but he pretty much literally overcame the 10 tails itself. And that's the craziest part. You see, the thing is, when it comes with people are not supposed to even control the 10 tails. It's very hard to control 9 tails, right? Imagine controlling a tail beast that doesn't have a single emotion, just raw power and anger. If you can control that, you can pretty much control anything. And the fact that Madara did that is pretty insane. And sure, I did say that he isn't reincarnate, but it doesn't really matter because because the reality is, when it comes with Madara, the dude is a living legend. He pretty much could have beat, Naruto and Sasuke's ass, in my opinion, because this guy is somehow able to survive everything and every single, one that, like, whoever tries to attack him. Hey, if Kaguya versus Madara came in, I could probably place my bet on Madara, because Madara himself, if he knew the powers of the Ten Tails and what he has, he would probably end up, destroying the living hell out of Kaguya. And that's the most craziest part is also Madara is the first ever person that we get to see with Senjutsu. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. Madara was the first ever person for us to use Senjutsu. Technically, if you really think about it, I'm pretty sure Nine Tails is technically Senjutsu, but Senjutsu isn't really explained a lot. But when it comes to Senjutsu, it's more of something outside of nature and outside of a lot of things. But when it comes with Madara, Madara was the first ever person to pretty much control everything. Control, the Ten Tails, control how things worked, and don't forget to mention he had enough chakra to pretty much unlock the infinite Tsukuyomi. Madara, okay? The dude, this dude, right? This dude, somehow, some way, as a human, went in and unlocked the infinite Tsukuyomi. And that takes enough chakra to drain one person. Even Kaguya, I'm pretty sure, it could probably drain her a lot. But even then, right, when you use it enough times, sure, it's one of those jutsus where if you use it enough time, you can, be able to use it without getting drained a lot. But since this was his first time, the dude was still able standing and was able to fight. I mean, to be fair, this dude, Madara, took so much chakra, so much stuff, he literally ended up just fighting. That's crazy. He stand up by his hands, or not hands, by his legs, and went, yeah, we're gonna fight. And not only he fought, he practically, the reason why they pretty much won that war is because Black Zetsu just decided to stab him. Overall, when it came with Madara, this dude is insane. Not only that, he had some crazy abilities, literally, there are some abilities that literally is very underestimated, in my opinion. One of the biggest one is the one where he can, shoot, lightning with his freaking mouth. That alone is powerful enough. Imagine, using Fireball. Fireball is already strong enough. You could probably go ahead and, do crazy amount of stuff if you have the amount as Madara. But when it comes with lightning, yeah, you're kind of cooked. Chidori is already crazy powerful enough. Imagine Madara just goes ahead and just shoots a freaking lightning bolt. Dude, that part is insane. The dude is, he also, don't forget, he destroyed 10,000 shinobis, I hope you know. And that's where I was getting at, too, when it comes with Madara. Sure, the shinobi world is technically weak, if you really think about it, when it comes with powers, because it's technically supposed to simulate if people had powers in just a whole fantasy way. But 10,000 shinobis with people who could use Fireball, lightning styles, earth styles, mud walls, all of these stuff, dude, that is actually kind of crazy. Not only that, Madara really is just one of the most powerful characters in the entire Naruto world. I mean, the dude quite literally, kept on, surviving. And the only reason why he died was because he got sabotaged. The dude is insane, right? Here's the thing, too. Sure, the shinobi world is, very weak, if you really think about it. But the more that it stacks up, the more, strength it has. Dude, the only reason why a lot of shinobi survived that fireball when Madara hit, it was because there were 10 shinobis who did water styles, just to block one fireball that Madara made. The dude is terrifying. The dude, literally, and even if he was alive and has limited chakra, he also practically has infinite chakra because the amount of crazy stuff he has. Don't also forget, he also did the Nine Tails. He destroyed, the living hell out of the Nine Tails, and now made him his own pet. Called it his own pet. Tried to summon it, but couldn't. And still was able to summon the Nine Tails somehow, some way. And at the end of the day, this dude, Madara, is absolutely horrifying. The dude is walking up, and then all of a sudden, it's like seeing a god, using full strength right at you, and you are a person who really knows nothing. Just imagine a regular person facing a god. That's literally what Madara feels like, because this dude just destroyed, roasted, and he's just one of the most craziest things to ever ever really happened. Anyways, that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say. Madara is absolutely crazy. I will give this dude a 0 out of 10 when it came with friendliness, because like this dude is absolutely horrifying. I think if I would face off any fictional villain, it would just not be Madara. It would probably be something completely different. Anyways, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.